Sarah, I'm the chair of the Lochaber Chamber of Commerce, where we face a transport issue. We've spoken to many of our members to understand the challenges that the road bring to their operations, and it is immense, the time and the costs that are incurred.
The salmon sector in Scotland is the biggest food export in the UK, not just Scotland but the UK, so to put that in perspective, around 40% of the biggest food export in the UK leaves this facility in Fort.
We cover about 7 million miles per annum on our trucks. We've got forestry, aquacultural, aluminium and a number of different sectors in the emerging renewable markets. Our port activities are very unique in the west coast of Scotland.
Two main challenges for us are housing and the road, the A82 in particular, and also congestion through Fort William. We have 80 to 100 lorry loads of logs arriving every day. Most of that comes via the road. Those logs can come from Argyll, further north, up towards Inverness. Anything that comes from the south side has to come all the way through the town and come all the way out to the sawmill. If you then look at what we're putting out 35 to 40 sawn loads of timber a day, and that all goes out on the road and generally goes south as well.
One of the biggest constraints is the roads and infrastructure that we have. I think there's three significant areas: safety, there's the environment, and also the economics of the area. There is some areas that we genuinely have to reverse to pass each other on a trunk road further south. So it's things like that have got to be improved.
You know, we're trying to get our product to market as quickly as possible, and so we're processing fish today that we want to be in the Boulogne market first thing tomorrow morning, and the worst part of that journey is the infrastructure in Fort William and the A82 in general.
Maui is the biggest salmon producer, and they produce around 65,000 tonnes a year, so that's almost 40% of the total Scottish salmon production coming from the Fort William area. The local challenges in Fort William are quite unique, based on the fact that the trucks have to move through the town centre, and in fact the real challenge that creates is to meet the major markets. They have to meet certain connection times along the way. So if the goods don't reach Lochaber by a specific time, it means that they will not be on Billingsgate Market in London the next morning, or they will miss a flight from Heathrow, or they don't catch onward connection to another part of Europe.
So right now we're processing around about 500,000 tonnes of logs a year. The business itself and the site itself is geared up to do more like 800 to 900,000 tonnes of logs a year. So to achieve that kind of almost doubling of production, we then need to be able to see more ability to bring the same logs, the same lorries in more frequently.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of positives to the economy in Scotland in general coming from Fort William. And I think, actually getting the data on where we want to be in 10, 20 years with the other companies as well would actually pull together some good justification for capital expenditure on the road, whereas at the moment I don't think any of the committees that have been set up are actually asking the right questions.
We do not have the infrastructure to cope with the volume of traffic.
There's in the region of 8 to 10 major projects that are planned for the site that may not happen on the back of us having an inability to be able to bring our raw product to the site and then also deliver to our customer base.
I think there are a number of solutions that the local community have discussed, and it would be so important to progress those. So if there's a bypass, so we take the heat out of the centre. I travel a lot in Norway and Sweden, so I'm blown away with the fact that we see bridges and tunnels without even thinking about it. Whereas here we are still bottlenecked with a road that was built how many years ago, and look at the growth that we've seen, and the infrastructure has not developed.